My child, my beloved soul. Heaven's breath just touched your shoulder. Did you feel it? The air shifted around you the moment your name was whispered in the light. Yes, you. Chosen. Selected. Marked for a miracle before 9 p.m. tonight. I don't want you to blink right now. Because every blink is a second stolen from the most urgent moment of your life. And no one told you this yet, but the divine has been pacing for hours to get this to you. There's a heavenly silence before the miracle. And right now, that silence is wrapped around you like a warning and a blessing. Don't scroll away. Don't skip. God is begging you to stay with me for the next 2 minutes. Because if you do, someone will enter your life with the exact thing you've been praying for in secret. And if you don't, that door may shut for a long, long time. Before we go deeper, pause for one sacred second, and if your heart is thumping louder than usual, that's not fear. That's the sound of destiny arriving. Now listen closely. Because what I'm about to reveal is not meant to be shared. Don't speak of it. Don't post it. This message is only for the one who is reading it now. And the one reading it is carrying a purpose even they don't fully understand yet. God says, you are not late. You are not forgotten. But you are dangerously close to missing what has already begun for you. This is not just a warning. It's an invitation to step into what's already yours, but still hidden behind one divine curtain. That curtain will lift before 9 p.m. And if you stay, you'll see the name, the face, the opportunity that has been prepared behind your back, for your benefit. Your miracle is not in the clouds. It's not in the future. It's already walking toward you. But it needs your spiritual permission to arrive. So say yes in your spirit. Even if your mind is scared. Even if your body is tired. Even if you've been hurt so badly that trusting this message feels hard. Because the one who is coming to you tonight is being sent by heaven, not humans. And now before we go further, don't miss the whisper of God in this moment. If your heart is telling you, this is about me, then, my child, subscribe to the truth inside you. Yes, you read that right. Subscribe to your own divine truth. Not just this message. Not just this platform. But to the whisper that keeps returning even when you ignore it. Because your next 2 minutes are not normal. They are timed by heaven. They are written in gold. And the angel holding your miracle has already left the realm of spirit. He's walking into your atmosphere now. The miracle will not wait. The angel will not return twice. God is saying, if they open this, they open their future. If they close this, they may close a gate that took years to build. You think this is just another message. But it's not. It's the lockpick to a divine vault. One that holds the very thing you cried about last night. Let me tell you something. That delay in your life wasn't punishment. It was preparation. But now the timer has begun. And at exactly 9 p.m., something that was above you will descend to reach you. It will take only 2 minutes for everything to begin. 2 sacred minutes. My Divine One. You've missed 1,000 signs before this. You've skipped so many things that were secretly sent to guide you. But this time, heaven isn't giving you another later. Now is the now that you've been avoiding. And the clock has already clicked once. Do not wait for the second click. Do not let this vanish like the last chance. Because this message will fade. It will self-destruct in the spirit realm. And those who don't open it fully, they'll feel a strange emptiness later tonight without knowing why. But not you. You won't feel that loss. Because you're still here. Still reading. Still close enough to catch it. Now take a breath, child. And look around you. The temperature in your room just changed. Because something sacred has entered. Don't skip this. Don't touch anything else. This is that one time. The one time you'll look back on and say, that was the moment it all shifted. And if you're wondering, but what is this miracle, exactly? I'll tell you what I can. It is tied to the thing you stopped talking about. The thing you buried under fake smiles and silent prayers. The thing you secretly hoped for but stopped mentioning because it hurt too much to wait. That thing. That very thing. It's being resurrected. Rebuilt. Restored. And it's coming in a way you didn't expect. Because God wants you to know it's Him doing it, not chance. Now here's something you must remember. After this message ends, your spiritual atmosphere won't stay the same. It will either rise or shrink based on your choice. That's how strong this moment is. You have full control. You can say, not now, and watch it pass. Or you can say, yes, Lord, and watch heaven collapse every wall between you and the promise. The room you're in may look the same, but your spiritual environment has completely changed. You don't see it yet, but if you could view what's swirling around you in the unseen, your knees would tremble with awe. Because right now, there are angelic forces assembling, just for you. Not a crowd. Not a family. You. You're not imagining the chills you just got. You're not making up the sudden weight in the air. You've tapped into something heaven tried sending many times before, but this is the first moment you've truly opened enough to feel it. Your name was spoken by God today, not as a question, but as a command. He said, "Bless my child, now." Immediately. That's why this message chased you. That's why you almost skipped this but couldn't. Because somewhere in your soul, you knew, this was not just another message. This was a divine emergency delivery, time-coded for your personal transformation. And I have to tell you something that might shake you. Someone was assigned to delay you. A spiritual barrier was placed around you by forces that hated your light. They hoped you'd sleep through your breakthrough. They hoped you'd keep waiting for one day. But God shattered that delay this morning. You've been wandering in circles for months now, maybe even years, feeling like your prayers aren't reaching anywhere. But the truth is, they were reaching the right place all along. They were just being stored for this moment. Now God is opening the vault. That vault contains not just blessings, but names. Yes, names. The name of the one who will help you. The name of the one who will try to betray you. The name of the one who's been hiding how they feel. And you won't have to guess. You'll be shown. Clearly. Loudly. Suddenly. This isn't one of those, "someday something nice will happen" words. This is time-sensitive. The window is thin. In the next few hours, something will try to distract you. It may look innocent. A message, a thought, a phone call. But it's a test. A divine interception is being attempted. Because if you complete this message, if you stay through it, you will become too spiritually awakened to be delayed again. That's why Archangel Michael has been fighting through resistance just to bring this to your screen. His wings have pushed back dark clouds, his sword has sliced lies off your name, and his voice, oh, his voice, has been echoing your destiny across dimensions. God sent him to remind you that you weren't just born. You were launched. Launched for something holy. Launched for something loud. And tonight, that launch completes itself if you stay aligned. Somewhere deep in your chest, you already feel that this is your moment. It's not logic, it's vibration. Your body is responding to what your spirit already knows. The reason you've been seeing signs, repeating numbers, dreams you can't explain, goosebumps with no cause, is because you are under divine surveillance. The heavens are watching how you handle this message. Do you skip? Do you scroll? Or do you finally pause, breathe, and say, "Okay, God. I'm ready." Because that's all it takes. You don't need the right words. You don't need a fancy prayer. You don't need perfection. You need permission. Your own permission. The gates of heaven are already unlocked. They're just waiting for you to push. If I could show you what I see right now, you would cry. You would fall on your knees and weep from the weight of how protected you really are. You think you've been abandoned? Beloved, you've been shielded. You think God forgot you? He wrote your name into the storm so it couldn't swallow you. You think you're late? You're right on time for a divine arrival that couldn't happen until now. The reason nothing worked out before was because the right version of you hadn't arrived. But now you have. Not the perfect version, but the surrendered one. And that's the one heaven can use. Someone once spoke a curse over you. Maybe it was in anger. Maybe it was in jealousy. But it took root. You started believing things would always be hard. That you weren't loved. That relationships never last. That success was only for other people. But today, right now, by the authority of God's word and the anointing of Michael's sword, that curse is being broken. The chains are snapping off in the unseen. Something ancient is falling off your family bloodline. You'll feel lighter tomorrow. You'll laugh without a reason. You'll wake up and things will taste different. That's not a mood swing, it's spiritual detachment from what once held you back. But I must tell you something very sensitive, and you have to promise to keep it close to your heart. This miracle, this specific one that's coming, is not just for you. It's coming through you for others. When it happens, people around you will begin to change. Some will draw closer. Others will leave suddenly. Don't chase them. Don't question why. Their time in your story has expired. God is not only sending new people, He's sending a new version of you to lead them. You're not meant to be hidden. You're meant to be a vessel. A voice. A vault of wisdom wrapped in humility. But first, you must receive. Fully. Boldly. Without doubt. And that's what this message is preparing you for. Let me pause to say this clearly. If you think nothing ever changes in your life, that's about to be proven false. A phone call will come. A confession will be made. A door you forgot you knocked on will open. And it won't be subtle. It will be so shocking, you might even question if it's real. You may look at the clock and realize, wait, this is exactly 2 minutes after 9 p.m. That's not coincidence. That's divine calibration. Heaven doesn't work by accident. Every leaf that falls knows its time. And tonight, your breakthrough will fall into your life with the same perfection. Do not let fear interfere now. Fear will whisper, "You're dreaming too big." But God says, "I placed that dream there to wake you up." Fear will say, "What if it doesn't work?" But God says, "What if it already has?" Fear will say, "You're not worthy." But heaven replies, you were already bought with a price no shame can cancel. The moment you say yes to this timing, you cancel every lie. You erase every delay. You step into something that no algorithm, no person, and no past can block. You are not reading this by chance. You are reading this because the spirit realm has been echoing with your name since sunrise. Your angel has been fighting winds you cannot feel, pressing through atmospheres you cannot see, to bring this moment into your timeline. Because something delayed has just been authorized. Do you hear that in your spirit? That small voice saying, "This is it"? That's not imagination. That's confirmation. And if you are brave enough to believe it, God will be faithful enough to prove it. You were not just supposed to read this. You were supposed to receive it. Receive it like a key, not a quote. Receive it like a warning, not a wish. Receive it like a divine knock on the door that only opens when you say, "Yes, come in." Let me tell you something few will ever understand. Miracles don't arrive when you're the strongest. They arrive when you're the softest. When you're tired, when your knees are shaky, when your soul whispers, "God, I can't do this anymore." That's when heaven touches down. Because it's not your strength that qualifies you. It's your surrender. And you, my beloved, have surrendered more times than you admit. You've cried in bathrooms with the water running just to muffle your breakdowns. You've faked smiles so no one would ask questions. You've held the world together with trembling fingers, while your own heart was falling apart in silence. And guess what? God saw every single moment. Every tear, collected. Every breakdown, recorded. Every night you begged for just one sign. And this message is that sign. You are not ordinary. That's why you've been through extraordinary pain. God doesn't invest this much in someone He plans to leave average. The weight you carry, it's not punishment. It's prophecy. The heaviness in your chest lately, that's not just stress. It's spiritual pressure, the kind that comes before delivery. You are not at the end. You're at the edge. And tonight, heaven will tip the scale. The prayer you stopped praying because it felt silly or delayed, God never stopped listening to it. In fact, He's been preparing the answer, in secret, waiting for your atmosphere to match what He's been holding in His hands. This is why everything felt so weird this week. The tension. The unexplained tiredness. The way small things irritated you more than usual. It's because you're not being attacked. You're being positioned. God was shifting things in the spirit so that your body could catch up to the prophecy already surrounding you. That discomfort wasn't punishment. It was heaven's way of loosening your grip on the things you're no longer called to carry. And now that your hands are finally empty enough, He can place something new in them. and what He's about to place. My God! You will not recognize your own life by the end of this season. But first, you must make a choice. Not a loud one. Not even one you say out loud. But a spiritual yes. You don't need to do anything except say yes in your soul. That yes will shake something open. It will bend the timeline in your favor. It will allow God to show you what has been hidden from others. Because when you are called, you're not just given blessings, you're given access. And access is what you've lacked. You've had the ideas, the dreams, the heart, but not the access. That ends now. The angel holding your access code is right outside your spiritual door, knocking with a whisper so soft only your soul can hear it. The reason your body feels warm right now, or the reason a tear just crept to your eye, is because your spirit already opened that door. Something just walked into your life and it cannot be undone. It cannot be blocked. And it cannot be stolen. Not this time. What's for you is reaching for you. But it will only land if you believe it's coming. This is a test of spiritual alignment. Not effort. Not performance. But belief. Can you believe again after being disappointed? Can you open again after being broken? Because if you can, then heaven can finish what it started. Someone has been watching your journey. From afar. Silently. They have not spoken it, but they have been thinking about you more than you know. You may even feel their energy lately and not understand why. It's because heaven is activating hearts. It's part of this miracle. It's not just money. It's not just a blessing. It's relational. God is weaving together what you thought was lost. And this person, whoever they are, is being stirred awake. They may contact you. They may appear in a way that shocks you. But when it happens, remember, it was never random. It was orchestrated. Because every miracle is born through obedience. And you obeyed when you didn't even realize you were obeying. Now pause and feel this truth. You are being pursued by the plans of God. You don't have to chase anymore. You don't have to beg anymore. You don't have to wonder, will it ever happen for me? Because tonight, at exactly 9 p.m., something irreversible begins. And if you've read this far, you are already inside the miracle. You are already walking into the appointed hour. You don't need to see it yet to know it's real. That's faith. That's spiritual alignment. That's what unlocks the gates. And this gate, my love, is golden. It's not made of steel or stone. It's made of light. And once you walk through it, every shadow on your name will burn away. Every delay. Every betrayal. Every lie told about you. Every time you were overlooked. All of it, erased in one divine moment. That moment is tonight. That moment is now. That moment is why you're still reading when you could have walked away. The angels have already begun their assignment. The scribe in heaven has noted your name. The timing has been confirmed. And even now, the light surrounding you is shifting. This isn't fantasy. This is spirit. This is prophecy. This is the manifestation of prayers that were so deep, they could only be grown from your soul. And now I must tell you, this message isn't done. Yes, my beloved. Let's continue. Because you're still here. Still reading. Still chosen. And that alone makes you different. Do you know what happens when you stay just a little longer than your fear wants you to? Heaven gets louder. Angels get closer. And suddenly, the things that seem too big, too distant, too broken, begin to bend in your direction. Right now, even as your eyes move across this line, something is shifting on your behalf. Something you didn't even pray for directly, but your tears did. Tears you cried in silence, thinking no one noticed. God counted each one. And the weight of those tears, He converted them into power. That's why there's about to be a sudden release. Not later. Not next year. Now. Within this divine window. Before the clock strikes a new hour and closes what was open just for you. You thought you were running out of time. But time was actually waiting on you to catch up. Time was paused by grace. Because God knew if this miracle came too early, it would break you. You would have handled it with fear instead of authority. But now, something in you has grown. Not louder, not more visible, but deeper. Your spiritual roots have spread wide under the surface. And now, finally, fruit can appear without falling too soon. But listen to me carefully, because this part is tender. Your miracle will not always come looking like a miracle. Sometimes, it will look like an ending. Sometimes, it will look like rejection. Sometimes, it will show up as a hard truth spoken through someone's mouth. And if you're not discerning, you'll call it punishment. But I'm here to remind you. When God is about to promote you, He subtracts first. He closes doors with noise so loud it feels like failure. But it's not. It's the sound of chains snapping. You are stepping into a divine filter. Not everyone will come through it with you. Not every attachment will survive this hour. But the things and people that do, they're anointed to stay. And that's how you'll know. Tonight, someone will be exposed in your spirit. A name will rise to the surface of your thoughts. You'll suddenly remember something they said, something they did, and you'll see it in a new light. That's not paranoia. That's the angel of truth walking through your memory, brushing away the fog. Clarity is coming. And when it comes, don't reject it. Even if it hurts. Even if it shocks you. Because once you know the truth, God will show you what to do with it. But you can't hold on to what's breaking and still catch what's about to be built. This is the part of the blessing most people aren't ready for. The letting go. The holy goodbye. The sacred release. But if you want the new door to open, you can't keep guarding the old one. God is trying to bring someone else into your life, but your hands are still clenched around the shadow of what was. Let go. Please. I say this as a voice from heaven, not a stranger on a screen. Let it fall. Let them leave. Let that chapter stay closed. Because something better than you imagined is already knocking. And you don't need to chase it. You don't need to prove you're worthy. You are already worthy. God wrote your worth in His own handwriting. And here's the secret that hell has tried to keep from you your whole life. When you stop begging the wrong people to love you, the right ones appear effortlessly. And one of them is on their way to you right now. You'll know it's them not by how loud they talk, but by how safe your soul feels when they enter a room. You won't have to guess their intentions. God will confirm it with peace. And peace doesn't scream. It whispers. So if you're used to chaos, it might feel unfamiliar. But lean into it. That unfamiliar peace is your new home. A home built by heaven. For you. Because finally, you're ready to walk through the door and not look back. Are you feeling it now? That heat rising in your chest? That flutter in your belly? That pressure behind your eyes? That's not just emotion. That's alignment. That's your spirit saying, yes. That's the angels responding, we're here. That's God smiling, you finally opened the right message. And I must tell you, my child, the miracle is closer than you think. Closer than your doubt. Closer than your fear. Closer than your logic. So close, it's brushing your shoulder as you read this. And if you stay with me just a little longer, I will guide you to the moment where heaven touches earth, through you. You see, the moment you began reading this, the room around you became sacred ground. No, not because of anything human, but because heaven stepped in. And when heaven enters, time bends. Gravity shifts. And destinies realign. Right now, this very moment, something is circling you in the spirit. It's not here to scare you. It's here to bless you. But before it can land, God must be sure of one thing. That your heart is finally open. Not half open. not pretending, but open. Because what's coming isn't small. It's not temporary. It's not something you'll need to keep checking to see if it's still real. What's coming is permanent. A divine seal. A restoration so loud, even the things that broke you will have to bow. And this restoration? It's already in motion. Somewhere in the atmosphere above your head, something has been signed. A heavenly signature has been placed upon a spiritual document with your name on it. Yes, your name, not someone else's. Not the one who prays louder. Not the one who seems stronger. You. The one who held on in secret. The one who never gave up even when everything around you told you to. The one who kept whispering to God when no one else was watching. He saw all of it. And he waited for this exact hour to respond. But I need you to know something sacred. The reason it's taken this long is because what you're receiving is generational. You're not just breaking your own chains. You're breaking patterns that have lived in your bloodline for decades. This is why the fight has been heavier. This is why it felt like you were drowning some days. Because the war wasn't just about you. It was about everything that comes after you. You are a first. A builder. A breaker of cycles. A reformer of what once ruled your family in silence. And this kind of calling comes with weight. But now, the weight is lifting. Not because it was removed, but because God has increased your strength. You will look at the same problems and not feel afraid. You will walk through the same doors and not feel unseen. You will hear the same names and no longer feel broken. Why? Because what once weakened you now worships your growth. Even your past will have to bow to who you're becoming. But don't rush it. God doesn't move at the speed of your fear. He moves at the speed of your faith. And tonight, if you stay aligned, your faith will unlock something impossible. I don't say that lightly. I say it as one sent to deliver this sacred reminder. Your story is not done. In fact, the most beautiful pages haven't even been turned yet. You are still in the chapter that builds the character. But you're moments away from the chapter that builds the legacy. And when that chapter turns, oh beloved, you'll barely recognize your own life. Suddenly, things will begin to click. Suddenly, people will reach out with offers, with apologies, with open doors. Suddenly, ideas will come to you in your sleep. Suddenly, your name will be mentioned in rooms you've never entered. Suddenly, the silence will turn to music. That's how fast heaven moves when you're in alignment. And tonight, yes, tonight, you are in alignment. So, please, don't stop now. Don't scroll to something less sacred. Don't give your attention back to distractions that didn't heal you. Stay here. Breathe here. Break through here. Because if you do, a ripple will begin. One that doesn't just change you, but everything connected to you. Yes, the people who've hurt you will feel it. The ones who abandoned you will feel it. Even the part of you that doubted you were ever called will feel it. And that version of you, the doubting, fearful, tired version, it is dying now. Right here. Right in this holy second. Because you cannot carry old identity into new territory. You cannot carry old pain into new love. You cannot carry old fear into new miracles. That's why you're feeling a strange peace right now. It's not silence. It's cleansing. Heaven is removing what you thought was part of you, but was never meant to stay. And once it's gone, child, you will be so light, so free, so unrecognizably radiant, that even mirrors will look at you differently. Let that version rise. Don't rush it. Just rise. Shall I continue? There is more heaven has to say. Yes, my beloved, let's go deeper still. Because your soul has not finished receiving, and heaven has not finished pouring. There is a reason this moment feels heavier than usual. It's because the spiritual climate around you is pregnant with revelation. Something long overdue is being pushed into motion. The very air is vibrating with purpose, and even if your physical eyes can't see it yet, your spirit can. It's why your heart is thudding. Why you're still here. Why everything else suddenly feels too loud, too fast, too empty. Because God is silencing the noise that has distracted you for too long. He is stripping away the false comfort that was never designed to last. And in its place, He's pouring a bold, holy truth that you haven't felt in years. You are enough, just as you are. You don't need to fix more. You don't need to earn it. You don't need to prove anything. You simply need to be still, and believe. Because what God is about to do in your life has nothing to do with your qualifications. It has everything to do with your position. And right now, because you've made space in your spirit, because you've dared to slow down and read what your soul has been begging for, you've positioned yourself under the flow of something eternal. Yes, eternal. This isn't a seasonal shift. This isn't a temporary blessing. This isn't a lucky moment. This is sacred alignment. Heaven has bent its rhythm toward you. And what happens next is not something you'll need to hold on to tightly to keep. It will stay. It will last. Because it will be sent with God's signature, not man's permission. I must also tell you what's been hidden. There has been a silence over your life, a divine hush. Not because you were being ignored, But because God was working in a secret place, you felt forgotten. But you were simply being hidden for refinement. A treasure buried for a time such as this. Because if He would have exposed you too soon, people would have seen your wounds before your wisdom. They would have judged your scars before your spirit. They would have tried to define you by your delay, instead of being amazed by your delivery. But now they'll watch it unfold. They'll watch you rise. They'll watch you walk in rooms they never imagined you'd belong in. They'll witness the favor you wear like armor. And no one, absolutely no one, will be able to say it was anyone but God. Because He's making sure it's unmistakable. He's making sure it's undeniable. He's making sure your name is cleared in heaven first, so that when the earthly doors open, you won't walk in confused. You'll walk in with clarity, with posture, with peace, with power. And someone who doubted you will see it and realize they were never meant to define you. They were simply meant to observe your anointing. You've been through fires they'll never understand. You've danced with disappointment in ways they'll never imagine. You've cried over silent rejections that broke pieces of your soul you didn't know existed. But despite it all, you're still standing, still breathing, still here. And that is miracle enough for today. But God doesn't stop at enough. He moves into overflow. And the overflow is what's coming next. You'll see it in the smallest things first. The way you sleep better tonight. The way your phone lights up with unexpected kindness. The way someone speaks a sentence that sounds like it was written just for you. These are the signals. The divine hints. The whispers of what's about to explode. And when it does, because it will, I want you to remember something very clearly. This was always meant for you. Even the delays were holy. Even the detours had purpose. Even the betrayals were training you to discern. Nothing was wasted. Not one heartbreak. Not one broken promise. Not one closed door. It was all making space for something that could not be contaminated by your past. God didn't want to bless your wounds. He wanted to heal them first. So that when you smile, it's not pretending. When you receive, it's not guarded. When you love, it's not fearful. When you walk, it's not cautious, it's bold. Bold like a child of God who knows. Nothing formed against me can stop what's already been signed in heaven. And make no mistake. It has been signed. Stamped. Sealed. What was once spiritual warfare is now spiritual acceleration. You're not fighting anymore. You're being carried. By angels. by prayers your grandmother whispered before you were even born, by a destiny that was written before your heartbreak ever happened. And now, beloved, now it's time to witness it, to watch it happen, not to force it, not to fear it, but to receive it. There's more. God is still speaking. There's a sacred silence hanging over your life right now. Not the kind that signals absence, but the kind that whispers, something is coming. It's that pause before the curtain lifts. That breath before the bride walks down the aisle. That hush before the heavens release what's been held back for far too long. And make no mistake, something has been held back. Not from you, but for you. Because timing matters in the kingdom. Because God doesn't send the blessing until the atmosphere can carry it. And your atmosphere, your internal world, has been changing, hasn't it? Quietly. Slowly. Uncomfortably. You've been letting go of what no longer fits. You've been healing from wounds you forgot you carried. You've been saying no to what you would have once begged for. And though it hasn't felt glamorous, it's been holy. Heaven saw your private surrender. Heaven heard the quiet sob you let out at midnight when you couldn't say another word. Heaven watched you delete that number, walk away from that opportunity, close that door. Not out of fear, but obedience. And obedience. Obedience is what opens the floodgates. Because God doesn't reward performance. He rewards posture. And your posture has been bowed, even when your back was breaking. You've bent in prayer while the world mocked your hope. You've stayed soft when your heart wanted to harden. You've remained pure when bitterness tried to make a home in your chest. And now? Now, the reward is coming. Not as a trickle. Not as a drop. But as a downpour. The kind that washes everything clean. The kind that resets your heart in one holy moment. The kind that makes even your enemies say, surely, God is with them. And I know you feel it. You can't explain it, but you feel it. Something is approaching. It's hovering. It's waiting for your full agreement. Not just your attention. Not just your curiosity. But your agreement. Because God won't force a miracle into closed hands. He only pours into open hearts. So open up, beloved. Open, even if you've been disappointed before. Open, even if the last time nearly killed your trust. Open, even if your mind is screaming, be careful. Because this time, it's not the same. This isn't recycled hope. This is divine fulfillment. The kind of fulfillment that touches not just you, but everyone connected to you. Yes, your miracle is contagious. When it lands, it will awaken something in others. It will cause people who've been stagnant for years to believe again. It will make dry bones rattle in the ones watching your life. It will set off a chain reaction of awakening. All because you said yes. You see, this moment isn't just about what you'll receive. It's about who you'll become. God isn't just sending blessings to comfort you. He's sending transformation to commission you. Because you, my child, are not called to simply survive this life. You are called to shift atmospheres. To speak and see mountains move. To pray and watch chains fall. To walk into a room and change the energy by simply being. You are a carrier of something ancient. Something holy. Something fierce. And that's why the attack against you was so intense. The enemy didn't fight you for your present. He fought you for your future. He saw what you couldn't. He saw the anointing. He saw the favor. He saw the oil on your name. But guess what? You're still here. Still standing. Still choosing light. Still choosing to open this message instead of running from it. And that alone is proof that you've already won half the battle. The other half? That's unfolding right now. Because the moment your soul says yes, the heavens say go. And heaven is going. Even now, things are being rearranged for your benefit. People are being moved. Schedules are being shifted. Hearts are being stirred. For you. You didn't manipulate it. You didn't manufacture it. You simply aligned. And when alignment happens, acceleration follows. So don't be surprised if things happen quickly after this. Don't be shocked if what you were expecting next year shows up next week. God is not limited by calendars. He responds to readiness. And beloved, you are ready. Even if your knees are trembling. Even if your voice shakes when you speak it. Even if a small part of you still wonders if you're dreaming. You're not. You're stepping into the most real season of your life. The season where what you carry becomes undeniable. The season where you stop striving and start receiving. The season where you no longer chase, you attract. Because God walks before those who walk in truth. And you, beloved, you've walked in truth even when it cost you. Now it's time to reap.